High mortgages, stressful jobs and years of city living can take their toll.
And many Aussies are desperate for a change of scene and looking for new ways to live their lives.
They're taking the plunge and buying not one, but 2 properties to help fund their relocation dreams.
What is it? Can.
And this week, we're helping a couple of empty nesters from the nation's capital who want to make a bold move for a sun and fun-filled life by the sea.
For us, we'd really like to downsize to 3 or 4 bedrooms.
But as we know, searching for property comes with its highs.
It's great.
Fantastic.
Is that a good surprise?
Absolutely.
That is a lovely
That's
surprise.
fabulous.
Big tick for you.
And its lows.
What happened, you guys? I was setting this mark. There better be some logic behind this.
She's going to be cranky.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough, but we're more determined than ever to make this dream a reality.
Let's spend some money.
All right, I'll let them know. This week we're on the hunt for Canberra couple Marie and Peter Top.
A pair of 50-somethings who are looking to say goodbye to the grind and routine of working life.
For a more carefree existence in the sun, sea and surf of Queensland's Gold Coast.
But this property hunt is far from plain sailing, as this savvy pair also want an investment pad in Melbourne.
Sports consultant Peter Top and his public servant wife Marie have been living and working in the nation's capital for the past 27 years.
Who's coming to Queensland with us when we come up there?
Are you going to have a bedroom for me?
They've raised 2 beautiful daughters who've now flown the nest, so it's time to plan for their future and prepare for the good life.
At this stage, we're both working, both in the public sector, and we've come to a time when we're starting to think about retirement.
Cheers. Cheers. Here's to our new home in Queensland.
Yeah. Cheers to our new home in Queensland.
They're currently rattling around in a 6-bedroom house that Peter built in the quiet, leafy suburb of Torrens. It's got a lot of great memories, but it's just too big for the 2 of them.
It's the only house we've ever lived in, and our children came from the hospital to here and they've grown up in the house. I think it's past its use-by date. I think you come to a point of your life where you realise the house is too big. It no longer serves its purpose, especially when your children start to leave home.
They want to downsize and relocate from career-conscious Canberra to the sunny and stress-free Gold Coast. But with the move still at least 3 years away, this property will initially need to be rented out.
The idea of what we're after is a property that we can tenant for the period that we're not there, and for it to be a base for us when we do retire.
With time running away from them, they're really feeling the pressure.
There's a certain amount of getting into the market up there now at today's prices, rather than waiting, another 4 or 5 years, and with inflation and the houses increasing, it may be more advantageous for us to do it now.
This dream has been a long time in the making. They've been looking for the last 7 years with no luck.
Just searching for a property has had its dynamics in itself, mainly because the distance. We go up there for holidays. We don't want to spend all our holidays looking for properties.
Their years of searching have got them nowhere, so they've called us in to give them a hand.
Hello, come on in. Welcome.
Much cooler in here.
Thank you.
So, the Gold Coast, why?
We holiday there, for the last 27 years we've been up there holidaying, and we really love the spot. It's great.
Where do you normally stay when you're holidaying?
On Burleigh Heads Beach.
So is that an area that you want to focus on?
Yes, absolutely.
What are we looking for? What sort of budget? What sort of size? Have you got some thoughts around that?
For us, we'd really like to downsize to something that's more manageable, not a box, but something that's got perhaps, 3 or 4 bedrooms.
Right.
Downsizing to 3 or 4 bedrooms.
This is the thing. We do live in a big home, and our perception of a downsizing is a 3 or 4 bedroom home.
Yeah.
It is exactly what we want.
After nearly 3 decades working in the capital, they've paid off the house and are mortgage-free, so they don't need to sell straight away to finance this massive lifestyle change.
They're looking to buy a 3 to 4 bedroom house with 2 living areas and 2 bathrooms. It must have a low maintenance garden and be no more than 15 minutes to Burleigh Heads Beach.
They have a maximum budget of $550,000, but with so many things to consider, this isn't going to be easy.
So that's the house on the Gold Coast covered. Now, you guys are looking to buy an investment property in Melbourne. Tell us a little bit more about what you're looking for.
Well, the Melbourne property would be mostly for growth and investment.
Why Melbourne though? Why not one of the other major cities?
We know the place a little bit, and all the research that seems to be coming out is suggesting that Melbourne's going to continue to grow.
For the second purchase, Marie and Peter are looking for an apartment close to Melbourne's CBD.
This city is getting bigger by the day with a population that's increasing faster than anywhere else in the country. And that's good news for property investors in the medium to long term.
Ideally, Marie and Peter are after a 2-bedroom apartment that's low maintenance and has good transport links to the city, and it must stay within their $450,000 budget.
Wow, these guys have been planning this move for 7 years.
Yeah, it's a long time, isn't it? I think it's really now time to put their money where their mouth is and start to get some action in place.
Yeah, it does worry me a little bit. Maybe they're better at planning than they are at doing. But I do get the sense that they are ready for this change.
Yeah, I think they're ready, and let's hope that you and I can get this one over the line.
Absolutely. With $550,000 for their Gold Coast property, together with the $450,000 for the investment pad, they have a total relocation budget of $1 million.
1,000 kilometres north and far from the stress of working life in Canberra is their favourite spot, Burleigh Heads on Queensland's Gold Coast.
Just an hour south of Brisbane, the area is renowned for fabulous beaches, great weather and the relaxed lifestyle that Peter and Marie are looking for.
And we're kicking the search off with a great house in the popular waterside suburb of Varsity Lakes, a few minutes' drive northwest of beachside Burleigh Heads. Now, the reason we brought you here is because it's going to be the biggest house that we show you, and one of the key things you wanted to do is have access to the beach, which is only about 10 minutes away from here. And we know that you love shopping too, so
Yes.
Robina Town Centre would be a good 6-minute drive from here.
Wow, wowee.
Let's go and see what you think about it all.
Yes.
Well, they're making all the right noises.
Yeah, but don't get too excited, they've only just arrived. However, this house has got a lot going for it, including a great open-plan kitchen dining area, 4 good-sized bedrooms, the 2 bathrooms that Marie and Peter want, and the all-important low-maintenance garden.
And at $530,000, it's $20,000 under budget. A little bit cooler in here.
Oh, it's great. It's fabulous.
I want to take you straight through to the open-plan living area.
Oh, wow.
Now, you want to entertain?
Yeah, wow.
What do you think about this space?
It's great. It's a good size. Your furniture will work well in here. It's got a nice flow-through effect. I love the way it comes straight from the front door and the doors swing open.
It's
really
very
nice.
wide, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
Marie certainly looks impressed, but I'm not so sure Peter's sold on it.
That wallpaper.
Yes,
The
yeah.
decor's quite striking, if you could call it that.
But I like it. I think it's got a bit of a wow factor. It's
Good.
Peter does it.
and you know the worst case scenario is Peter can peel it off.
Lucky Peter. Sounds like it's going to be a long retirement.
Better get him outside then before he sees what's coming. So this is the main bedroom.
Oh,
More of the same decor.
yes. Yeah. Can see a bit of work being done here.
What do you think of the size?
I think the size is a good size.
You'll be really happy with what I'm about to show you then. Behind this, what looks like a wardrobe.
Hello, bathroom.
And a good size one too, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it's nice.
And only a single basin, which is one of your requirements.
Don't want to be cleaning forever.
Well, Marie seems pretty taken with the house. I wonder what's going on with the boys out the back.
Now, mate, it's not Queensland unless you have an alfresco deck area.
True, yeah.
And you asked for a low-maintenance garden, so it really doesn't get any more low-maintenance than that.
There's not much out there, is there?
And given the fact that you want to actually put a tenant in for the next 3 years, a low-maintenance, no garden to look after is actually a plus. And then when you guys move,
Yep.
you can change that fully.
Yep. I've got to say I was a bit surprised at the size of the backyard, given the backyard I've got at home, of course. Deck's probably a bit smaller than I would have liked.
Oh no, looks like this garden's a little too low maintenance for Peter.
Yeah, but nothing that a few trees wouldn't fix.
Okay, so this looks like another...
A study nook.
Yep.
That's
well,
what it is.
For these 2 bedrooms, yeah. So the big area, then this area, then... And
It's really big.
Oi.
Do we want it this big? That's the big question.
So we brought them here to test them on size. How'd you go with Marie when she walked around?
I suspect this is going to be too big. So what'd you find outside with Peter?
Peter's not sold on the garden. He thinks it's a little bit too small.
It is low maintenance.
It is a low maintenance garden, yeah.
Well, the fence is a nice height, so you've got a lot of privacy from your neighbours, but I'm really concerned about that road. That road is pretty busy.
Yep.
Well, they haven't even mentioned how close they are to the beach yet. So I think if we take them closer to the beach, show them a smaller house, maybe with a bit more outdoor space, I think they'll get pretty excited.
House versus position makes the next one look pretty good.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's the moment of truth.
Okay, we've seen everything. Is it a contender?
I would say no.
Oh, but it ticked all the boxes. There was, you know, a couple of living rooms. It's the size of bedrooms you wanted. It's in the area close to the beach, near the shops.
And you left out near a main road. We don't mind a suburban thoroughfare, but not a motorway or a freeway or anything like that. The house is beautiful. I really like the house. I like the layout of it, but I think, I hate to say it, it's too big.
So we brought you here really to test you on that size, because it's quite difficult when you're downsizing often to really deal with that smaller space, but you seem very resolved that this is too big, so that's good.
Can we say that we can rule this one out?
We can, we can rule this one out.
The good news is, I think the next house will definitely give them something to smile about.
So there's only one chance to make a first impression.
I like it.
At this price, there is some other interest.
We would kick ourselves if we missed this.
Marie and Peter Top are looking ahead and planning for their future. They've lived in their family home for 27 years but have decided it's time for a major lifestyle change.
I think it's past its use-by date. It no longer serves its purpose.
They want a smaller home by the sea in Queensland and an investment property in Melbourne.
But after 7 years of searching with no luck and with a very specific set of requirements, this search isn't going to be easy.
So far we've shown them a 4-bedroom house in Varsity Lakes, but it proved to be a bit on the large side for Peter and Marie.
It's really big. Do we want it this big? That's the big question.
For our second property, we've brought them to one of their favourite spots, Burleigh Waters, just 2 kilometres from the coast. That's bound to give us some brownie points.
We found a smaller house that gives them a little bit extra. It's got everything they've asked for: 4 bedrooms, 2 living areas, 2 bathrooms, and it has a swimming pool, which in this heat is bound to be tempting.
This house was originally selling for $619,000, but has had a number of price drops and is now on the market for $569,000. Still 19 grand over their budget. But we think Peter and Marie will love it.
This is beautiful.
And this is one of the most tightly held streets in the area as well.
I
Very
like it.
high level of owner-occupiers in the area, and the turnover rate is very low. Okay, so there's only one chance to make a first impression.
The front of the house is beautiful, and I'm really anxious to see what it's like inside.
The street appeal's fantastic. Really love the street appeal. The garden's superb. Not much grass to mow.
Low maintenance enough?
So, low maintenance. That's ticked a few boxes already for me. Let's go.
I had a feeling this house will come up trumps.
Gee, I could have sworn you said not to get too excited too early in the piece. Now come through, guys, because there's something that we want to show you both.
Beautiful.
I'll lead the way.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Fantastic.
Is that a good surprise?
That is a
Absolutely.
lovely
That's
surprise.
fabulous.
That is a welcome surprise. Yeah.
Yep, that's fantastic.
Yep. A big tick for you.
Yeah, we're getting a few ticks on
Hey,
this one.
that's 4 or 5 now.
And the
Okay.
garden is beautiful.
It is. We've got low maintenance. We've got the pool. We've got a great location. You don't even need to see the house, do you?
We'll see it, though, all the same. Thank you very much. This is a beautiful area. Yeah, I can
It is,
definitely see
yeah.
myself here. Actually, grab a towel out of the car, will you? And
Go for a swim.
You think that might be...
Pains me to say it, but looks like you were right, Veronica.
Yep, just as I thought. They love it. Here's hoping the inside lives up to expectation.
Oh, what a lovely view. How good's that?
You do have a built-in wardrobe. Take a peek in there, and an ensuite.
You'll be very happy with that. Mm-hmm. Okay, and you walk through to the ensuite.
The bedroom here is not separate from all the rest of the other bedrooms.
No.
Would that be a deal breaker?
I don't think this would be an issue, no.
There's 2 living areas. Are they big enough for what you need?
Well, certainly I'm in one room and she'll be in the other, so don't see...
Secret of a happy marriage.
I guess.
When we were outside, you'd practically bought the property. Now that you've seen the inside, you've seen the living areas, you've seen the bedrooms, is there anything that concerns you?
Not a real fan of the walk-through wardrobe into the bathroom. Tiles are good. Carpets are replaceable.
Well, Peter's sounding pretty positive.
One down, one to go. So this property has shutters on both of these doors?
Yes, Bryce. It's actually one of my favourite things is shutters. I love them.
Now,
this is really functional, this area. It's great.
do you know where we're standing?
I think this is a family room.
Or Pete's room?
Or it could be Peter's room. Yeah, I can see him in here.
What's the feeling when you're walking around this place? Does it have a good vibe for you?
Yes, I think it's so far, particularly that outdoor area. They've won me there. I actually don't want to live in Canberra anymore, just quietly. I'd just like to move right up here straight.
How long do you think that 3 years would feel sort of waiting in Canberra to come and move up here?
Who said I'm going to wait?
Now, Veronica, is this going too well?
I don't want to jinx it, but I think Peter's bought it.
Really? Well, I was chatting with Marie and she told me she had to chat with the company director.
Is that what she calls him? That's cute.
And if he says yes, well, I reckon she'd say yes.
Well, he's not picking up any negatives. He actually really likes it.
So does that mean we can call off the search tomorrow and start sightseeing?
Not so fast. It's never that easy. Hello. Hello. So, your smiles on your faces?
Yeah. Very happy people. The house is absolutely beautiful. It ticks all the boxes. We've had a little walk around the area and it's absolutely lovely. But, how much money?
The asking price is $569,000. It has been on the market for a while and has been consistently dropping in asking price, and now at this price there is some other interest. So you will need to move fairly fast, and it's probably close to really what it's worth. But we've got tomorrow, so not so hasty.
Okay. Well, we'll certainly be keeping this one on our radar, won't we?
My word.
I just love it.
It's a new day, and while Peter and Marie are still smitten with the last house we showed them, it was $19,000 over their $550,000 budget, and still a bit more than they want to spend.
We want to test their resolve with one last property that's got everything they're after and comes in under budget.
We're heading to a suburb called Robina, 7 kilometres from Burleigh Waters and slightly further inland from the coast.
This popular hub's got a lot going for it, including a $2.5 billion shopping centre, a train line with direct links to Brisbane and Bond University. And we've found a house which has everything Marie and Peter are looking for, and the price is right.
The reason that we brought you here is the asking price on this particular property is $539,000, which potentially has some room to move. But the idea is to bring you here and see what a little bit less in your budget can buy, but still satisfying a lot of the criteria.
Cool.
I like it. Let's go and have a look at it.
What a good idea, let's do it.
This house will either throw a spanner in the works or crystallise their feelings about the last property we showed them in Burleigh Waters.
It's got 4 bedrooms, the all-important 2 living areas, a lovely open-plan feel, and to top it off, a beautiful saltwater pool.
It really is the perfect house for Marie and Peter. And it's under budget at $539,000. The question is, will they love it?
So come on through, guys. What you've got is 1 bedroom here and then 1 of 2 main living rooms. Make your way through.
Thank you.
Got another bedroom here. I want to know what your first impression as you come through to this kitchen area and second living room.
Very nice. You've done well so far.
Yeah?
I like it.
I was afraid she'd say that.
It's just
Was it?
now,
When
I won't know which house I want. Maybe we have to buy 2 houses.
Oh, so we really are throwing a spanner in the works.
It's nice.
Maria's looking pretty taken with this place. Looks like we could have 2 houses in the running.
Well, one of the key things here was one of your criteria was to make sure that the master bedroom is away from the other bedrooms, which was a tough ask to do, and we have done that for you. So this one does have that. And it also has one of your other key criteria as being the pool and a low-maintenance garden.
Show me. Don't hold me in suspense. Show me now.
All right, come through. Peter's being exceptionally quiet. Hope the pool will do the trick.
What we have is an in-ground saltwater pool. It's a little bit longer than it looks like from the inside. What do you think?
Yeah, I've seen bathtubs bigger than that.
Ooh, getting a bit negative.
There's not a lot of room around the pool either, is there?
You've got covered area here for your barbecues, entertaining.
So, Peter, we're not really sensing much positivity here from you.
Oh, look, there are some positives, but I can't say it's a world beater at the moment.
I think Peter and I need to have a little heart-to-heart.
Watch out, Pete. Here she comes.
Marie quite likes this house,
Yeah, she does.
but you don't.
No.
It is interesting, though, that you can have a house that really does tick all your criteria. And you've got the main bedroom separate from the rest of the house. It's a great floor plan. You've got the size of the living area, which is ideal, the pool, you know, addresses all that, but you don't get the feel.
Yeah.
And you're a bloke, and you're not getting the feel.
That's right. That's right, I'm just not getting it, so...
Peter hasn't fallen for this one. I have a sneaky suspicion he's pining for the last house of Burleigh Waters.
And there's a couple of things I want to point out here. We know that you love the shutters.
I do love the shutters. A little bit small on the shutters, but nonetheless...
Shutters nonetheless?
Yeah, shutters.
Separate ensuite here,
Okay.
because we know that you wanted to have separate toilets, which this house does.
Yep. I like the view out the window there. That looks really great.
Yeah, water views.
I think it has got a lot of potential, but I think the house on the exterior areas needs a bit of gardening, more established gardening where the shades the house, because it is such a hot climate up here.
Marie's not sounding as taken with this as I first thought, and we know where Pete's head is at.
So what do you think? What do you like? What do you like? You're obviously reasonably keen.
No, not now.
Oh.
I've changed my
Why?
mind.
Based on?
I think it's a nice home, but it's a little bit far from Burleigh Heads Beach for me. I
like the way the bedrooms are separated.
Yeah,
All
that's
of
good
them. So if
positive.
kids come up, they can have their own area away. I'm not that keen on the way this flows through. It's like an open plan. It's almost like an open plan office.
He doesn't like it. She doesn't have a hope in hell of buying this if she likes it.
Makes it very tough if you tick all the boxes and they still don't like it.
I know, it's very challenging.
And it all started so well. Isn't it amazing how quickly things can change?
Feels more like a bathtub. Put some suds in and we'll have a bath.
Okay, guys, what's the verdict?
Well, for me, it's a no. It's a lovely home. There's nothing wrong with it. A little bit far from the beach, and I can't feel that sea breeze, so a no from me. What do you think, Pete?
Yeah, no, I don't think so either.
Two no's don't make a right, so...
They certainly don't. Sounds like the beach is calling.
I think we found the one.
We found it. Let's spend some money. Yeah, have you got that turned on, that phone?
OK. All right, I'll let them know.
Peter and Marie have been planning their retirement for 7 years, but so far it's been all talk and no action.
And now it's crunch time, and we're here to help them get across the line and make this retirement dream a reality.
We've shown them 3 houses that got 3 very different reactions.
I like it. It's got a bit of a wow factor.
I've seen bathtubs bigger than that.
Ooh, getting a bit negatives.
In the end, there was only one true contender, and we've brought them back to Burleigh Waters for a second look.
Well, we're back here.
Yes.
Any change of heart?
No, I just, actually has reaffirmed my first initial viewing. I'm excited about it. It's just fabulous.
So, Peter, it's been a long time waiting for you as well, and you're being very quiet. So how's it feel for you to be almost near the end?
Oh, relieved.
Yeah.
I think relieved is probably the word that comes to mind. It's been a long time. We've looked at a lot of houses, and thankfully, I think we found the one. But
We found it.
we have found it.
We found it.
There you go.
Mate, you've been told. They both seem pretty certain that this is the house for them, but it's important they have one more look around just to be sure. Could be a good result here.
I know. I hope they haven't changed their mind in there.
This is home.
Oh, better get out.
Here we go.
Well,
Don't keep us in suspense.
Let's spend some money.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it is. It is really exciting.
I don't want to dampen the excitement, but remember it's already had a price drop from $619,000 to $569,000, and it's still 19 grand over budget. It's really important at this point, though, because there is another buyer involved, that there's no point mucking around. You have to go in with your strongest offer because you may not get another opportunity. So if there's a price at which you would kick yourself if another buyer got it, that's pretty much the price you have to pay.
Having had a look around the properties we've seen, we would kick ourselves if we missed this. So let's play our ace card.
Peter and Marie don't want to miss getting this house, but they also need to leave enough in the kitty for some improvements, like putting in a pool fence.
They're also in quite a strong position when it comes to price, as the property's been on the market for over 4 months and the owners are keen to sell.
Yeah, Ivan, Bryce Holdaway here. How are you? That's good. Look, we're just standing here with our buyers and they'd like to put an offer on that property. They want to make it $541,250. Great, look forward to hearing back from you then. Okay, thanks, Ivan. Bye now. Okay, the offer's in. We won't find out tonight though. It's going to be a long wait and we will find out in the morning. So hopefully not too much of a sleepless night for you.
Oh, good.
It's a glorious new day at Burleigh Heads, and Peter and Marie are waiting for the news that will kickstart their new life by the beach.
You two are very calm for a couple whose life dream is hanging on this phone call we're waiting for.
I think we're sort of keeping it contained because we don't want to get our hopes up too high and we want it to happen.
Oh, absolutely.
We're saying it's going to happen. Inside we're saying it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
The 7 years has taught us that we've just got to be a bit patient. And whilst as I said before, whilst we appear calm, we're not really.
Yeah, have you got that turned on, that phone?
Hopefully it'll ring pretty soon because I'm just as anxious as you guys are to find out. Fingers crossed. Hello, Ivan. I've got two very nervous buyers here, very anxious to hear what you have to say. Okay. All right, I'll let them know.
Come on.
You guys have got to look for a new holiday spot because the Gold Coast is now your home.
Wonderful. That's fabulous.
That's fabulous.
Thank you, Bryce.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Thanks, man. That was fabulous.
And oh, that's
Wonderful.
great.
Such a relief.
I know. No more looking at
Poker player
houses.
over here. He's now showing us his emotions.
Oh, it's good to be done.
I know.
Really good to be done.
It's just, I mean, it has been 7 years of hard slogging on the damn internet and not making it up here to look at property, seeing things slip through our fingers. So, yeah, had enough.
Fantastic.
This is a great result and I'm really pleased about it. Thanks, guys.
Peter and Marie have waited a long time to see this life-changing dream become a reality.
We've managed to find them a fantastic 4-bedroom house in the beautiful location of Burleigh Waters.
The property was on the market for $569,000 and we sealed the deal at $541,250. That's a saving of nearly $28,000. We couldn't have wished for a better result.
It's never too early to celebrate.
No, never.
We've just enough time to enjoy a drink before getting straight back to work and on the hunt for their investment property way down south in Melbourne.
Cheers.
But the challenge for us, it's a very wide brief. Marie and Peter don't mind where they buy in Melbourne, as long as it's a good performer. No pressure then. The good news is it's a great time to invest. With a rapidly growing population, the city's tipped to overtake Sydney as Australia's largest in the next 20 years. And that's a big plus when it comes to forcing up property prices.
But that's not the only reason to buy here. Often called the cultural capital of Australia, it's got great cafes and restaurants, fantastic shopping, and let's not forget the footy. Do you think you're going to be able to take the emotion out of this one? Because you're looking at an investment here. It's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I have to keep reminding myself about that.
I've been trying all week to get me to get a head out of the emotional side of it and make this a real head decision, so a financial decision, if you like.
The properties that we show you are going to be a challenge for you because I don't think any of them you would live in.
What, never live in it? Like if I wanted to come down here for a year, this is me being not emotional. Say if I wanted to come down here for a year, you're telling me that I wouldn't live in one of these properties?
Look, I think one thing to strike off your criteria list this minute is, what if I ever move to Melbourne, will I ever live in it? Just forget it.
Forget it.
Okay? Because there will be people that are in the absolute right demographic, the right age, right income, everything that will love to live in these apartments.
You know what? I'm going to surprise you today.
We hope
I'm going to surprise both of you today.
Well, we've got some property to see.
Let's go have a look.
Bring it on.
Marie and Peter would like a 2-bedroom apartment close to transport links. They wanted to bring in a good rental return and also increase in value over time.
For this property, they have a healthy budget of $450,000, and we're taking them to 3 different suburbs of Melbourne that offer them 3 very different types of investment opportunity.
Our first property is in Carnegie, 13 kilometres southeast of the CBD.
Surrounded by exclusive suburbs, Carnegie is the affordable neighbour which is predicted to perform very well in the next few years. So where we've brought you is an area that we think has lots of upcoming potential. And you guys actually haven't been around Melbourne much, have you? You haven't seen the suburb?
No, not out here. The street appeal of the place looks really nice. As you say, the tree line street looks quite impressive. So tell us a bit more about it.
Well, one thing we like about this building, there's only 8 apartments in it, so it's really small, and therefore there's not a lot of common areas, there's no lifts, there's only a very small amount of common garden, so the levies will be very manageable in terms of affordability, and it's a very well maintained building. So let's go inside and have a look. Great. Come on.
This ground floor apartment has 2 bedrooms, and while it's quite neat, the icing on the cake is it has its own private courtyard.
Melbourneites love nothing more than a good auction, and this apartment is up for grabs with a price guide of between $410,000 and $450,000.
But it's worth being aware that these guides can often be 10 to 20% below the eventual sale price and are not necessarily a true indicator of how much the property will eventually sell for.
So what we've got is probably built in the 1970s, 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom, kitchen, and this great big outdoor space.
Let's go and have a look at the courtyard, because when it comes to apartments, that's actually gold, because not only will you get a tenant be prepared to pay more rent, but people who are looking to buy it will also place a really big value or a really big premium on that as well. So that's a real plus of this apartment.
It looks nice and neat out there. I can imagine that they'd have a little outdoor setting or something like that out there, and yeah, it's good so far.
It's a neat little number.
It is.
These two are being pretty level-headed. Looks like head over heart is winning the day.
When you thought, I'm going to buy investment property in Melbourne, was this maybe what you had in mind?
My preference in terms of small block of units, big towns, growing town, rent returns have been quite consistent, so it's quite suitable for me.
So the kitchen is pretty basic, but with the exception of a couple of things, fine for tenants. That oven and the cooktop looking a bit shabby, so yes. I would replace them.
Okay.
There's also no dishwasher. Tenants love dishwashers.
Yes.
Good news is there's plenty of space, and I'd get a freestanding model and put it right here. I think all in all you wouldn't need to change anything else.
I wonder what Peter's thinking.
What are you thinking?
I like it. It's a nice, clean place, and I think there's very little to do, if nothing, for a tenant to walk in here and just, and we can get it working for us straight away.
You can.
So the only thing that I'm worried about is that it's auction property, and an auction, people come with a bit more emotion and they tend to sort of bump up the price a little bit.
There's no denying it, auctions can be stressful, but there are surefire tactics to get the best deal, and if they decide they want to go ahead, then we'll be here to help them. Okay, so one down. Tell us, are we on track?
Absolutely, I think you are on track. I really like it. It's got lots of street appeal. It's really nice and clean inside.
I'm quite pleased.
We've mixed it up with a couple more that we're seeing this afternoon, and we're really looking forward to showing you. So let's go.
First property down, and they're both smiling. That has to be a good sign.
Got some confusion happening. Well, it is certainly location.
At 350,000. 3 of you win it now. Good bidding for good real estate. Selling.
Peter and Marie bought a beautiful house on the Gold Coast where they plan to kick up their heels and live the good life. Cheers. Retirement on the Gold Coast.
Yep.
Now the pressure's on us to find them that all-important investment pad in Melbourne and bag them that second property.
We've shown Marie and Peter a great property in Carnegie that they both liked.
It's a nice, clean place, and I think there's very little to do, if nothing, for a tenant to walk in here.
And up until now, Marie's managed to think with her head and not her heart. But can she keep it up?
Our second apartment is in the blue chip suburb of Malvern East, 11 kilometres southeast of the CBD.
With its tree-lined streets and smart shops, it's a good performer property-wise.
We've brought them to a fantastic 2-bed, top-floor apartment in a beautiful leafy setting.
It has a price guide of between $400,000 and $450,000 and could be rented out for around $340 a week.
To find an apartment in this area within budget is a stretch, but will Marie and Peter be able to see the potential?
So one floor up on the top floor here, so it's a bit different. There's no outdoor space. Some people like to be on the top floor, others like the outdoor space.
Yeah.
Loads of natural light and great big picture windows.
It is nice, and it's
Very
reasonably,
nice.
even though you're upstairs, it's actually quite private, so it's quite good.
Yeah, it's actually at the front of the building too, so you've got that awesome outlook of having the 2 feature windows here without anyone really looking in on your living space.
What are we looking at dollar value?
The expectation on this property is very similar as the Carnegie property, and we're looking towards the mid-400s for this one. Now, the reason we can look at something in Malvern East for the same sort of money is because this one could do with a bit of updating. Shall we show you the kitchen?
I knew there was a catch.
I'm really hoping Marie isn't going to let a little renovating cloud her judgment. You could definitely rent the property out with this kitchen. It's not dreadful, but it is pretty dated and it's pretty ready for an update. We haven't shown you the bathroom yet, but we do believe if you renovated the kitchen and the bathroom, it might cost you $20,000 to $30,000.
Yep.
We believe you'd add another $80 to $100 a week rent to the property.
The other place had a bit more appeal for me in terms of being able to get a tenant to come straight in. I'm not sure that a tenant would be that excited about coming straight into this place.
But you know, area is so important, location. It is really key, and if you can actually use this to leverage into a location that you couldn't otherwise afford, then, you know, it's something really to seriously look at.
Marie and Peter can only afford to buy in this area because the property needs work. It's got great potential, but will they be able to see it?
Geez, I thought they'd be jumping out of their skin to buy into a cool suburb like this.
I know, kitchen's not that bad.
Mate, if they don't like the kitchen...
They're going to hate the bathroom.
I think Bryce has thought about a renovation. It might come a bit earlier than 5 or 10 years.
I wonder if you could knock the walls out that actually go into the toilet. I don't know. I don't know whether I'm in the renovating mood or not, but, you know, what if we renovated it and the potential wasn't there?
To renovate or not to renovate? That is the question. And Marie is definitely not sold on the idea. So we're really excited to show you the potential of this place. Do you see it?
Do you share our excitement?
I have the word renovation stuck in my memory bank now, and I don't know whether I'm that excited about the renovations.
I've got to say I'm not as concerned about that. To me, it's got more street appeal than the other place. It's a little bit closer to some of the amenities.
You're open to it?
Yeah.
For our final apartment, we're taking a bit of a walk on the wild side.
We've moved from Blue Ribbon Malvern East across town to the funky inner city suburb of Fitzroy.
Just a short 2 kilometres northeast of the CBD, with its cafes, edgy boutiques and cool bars, it's an extremely popular area.
We're showing them an apartment in a block of 40, and although we wouldn't usually recommend large complexes, this unit is right in the heart of the action.
But when it comes to Marie and Peter's brief, there's a bit of a catch.
They've asked us to find them a 2-bedroom apartment, and it's fair to say that this place is a lot smaller than the others we've shown them.
The good news is it's also a lot cheaper, with a price guide of $360,000 to $390,000.
And with a rental return of $380 to $400 per week, this is our strongest performer.
We're in a very, very modern apartment here, in 9 years of age, so there's plenty of modern... the kitchen's very modern.
Yes, I can see that. No kitchen reno here.
No kitchen reno here, I thought that'd make you happy.
Well, that's a plus, but let's not get too excited as we're still to reveal our little surprise.
And what Veronica and I have done for you here is just show you a property that is a 1-bedroom apartment.
Wait a minute, a 1-bedroom apartment. What happened, you guys? I was setting this mark, 2 bedrooms so far, and now suddenly 1 bedroom. There better be some logic behind this.
She's getting a bit cranky.
Yeah.
There is some logic. Can we give you the logic?
Yep.
Okay, for a start, you know what a sought-after area this is. 1-bedroom apartments in this area, they are popular. Okay, they're popular with owner-occupiers and with tenants. This property is actually owner-occupied. What is amazing is that the rental return on this is better than both of the other ones.
So it goes down to the dollar.
It goes down to the numbers. And the other thing to keep in mind is, as of this year, single people living on their own is the most dominant household type in this country. So it's actually a trend towards one-bedroom apartments rather than a trend away.
I really hope Marie can keep her emotions in check and not be put off by the one bedroom. So this is the bedroom. We have a storage space here. Plenty of space for a queen-size bed.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
The bonus is that this has got no renovations and it's all relatively new. It's in a great location. The only drawback is that extra bedroom.
The price expectation is significantly less than the Carnegie property.
Now you're talking my language.
We're talking an expectation a bit under 400,000.
But the other properties, in my mind, had more potential to improve. We don't look like we can do much here.
I agree with you on that, absolutely. But this one is more about that sort of picking a spot in the top area.
Yep.
You know, great for lifestyle and all the rest of it.
Well, I can honestly say that this is a fabulous location. And the more you talk about it, the more I can see the potential in something like this.
Fantastic. Marie is really pushing herself to see the investment opportunity in this one. Fingers crossed she can keep it up.
Well, it's lovely, isn't it? It's all nice and new.
Yeah.
It's really thrown a cat amongst the pigeons.
It works nicely. This place works really nicely.
Yeah.
So, if there's some
I can't see any drawbacks except for that one bedroom, but then again, you know, location, isn't it? A lot of it. This has got absolutely everything.
I hope we haven't confused them.
We've definitely confused them. Did you see Peter? Everyone we walked in today, he was into, and then now he's got this huge decision to make.
Yeah, Marie vacillated though. She wasn't so sure on any of them, really.
She'll love this one because there's no need to renovate.
But she doesn't like it because there's only one bedroom. But they're three really good properties.
Great properties. They've got a lot to think about.
We have to help them out, I think.
I think so.
Oh, hello.
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 How are you?
Yeah, good.
Oh, good, very good.
Have a good chance to look around. We've had 3 properties to look at today. You've got some thinking to do.
I've got some confusion happening. That's what I've got, confusion.
Some really serious thinking, yeah.
After a lot of talking and a good night's sleep, Marie and Peter decided that the funky one-bedder in Fitzroy was the one for them. And they're going for it.
Fitzroy property was the best in terms of return.
Well, there's certainly location. I think that's one of the primary things that have really drawn us to this.
A week later and it's auction day, so we're back in Melbourne to try and seal the deal.
Marie's been worried about auctions from the start, so it's time to talk tactics to put her at ease.
Basically, I'm not going to refer to you at all throughout the auction. I'm not going to ask you any questions. I'm not going to ask you what should we do. I'll probably give the illusion of ignoring you because I want everyone to think that we're here to buy and I don't have any body language that suggests we're getting close to our limit.
I'm really excited.
Really excited, a little bit nervous?
Yes. So
I think
let's go.
It's time to go.
Peter and Marie have a budget of $450,000 for their investment pad. And while the price guide for this property is around $390,000, there's a lot of interest and it's likely to go for a lot more.
It's your turn now, buyers, to make a fair and reasonable start.
Looks like we've got a bit of a contest ahead.
At $370,080, it's still remarkable value. 80, 90, 400. At $390 the bid, 400 your opportunity. At $390,000, bidding 400 he does, 410 can I say straight back. At
410,000.
At $410,000 now, 4 of you win it. At 410,000, 420,000. 421 I'll take it, we are on the market at 422. 425.
Check out that poise under pressure.
430 good bidding, 431. At 431,000, calling for a rise of 1 anywhere at all. We are selling on the 3rd and final call at $431,000 once, twice, for the 3rd and final call at $431,000. You're done, finished, silent. We're selling, sold. Welcome to Fitzroy.
Well done, Holdaway. Talk about a poker face. What a result. Marie and Peter bought their funky one-bedder for $431,000. That's $19,000 less than they'd budgeted for.
How does that feel?
Come through. Good.
That's great.
And they got their dream home on the Gold Coast for $541,250.
They had a total relocation pot of $1 million, but we've come in under budget on both properties, saving them $27,750. Not bad for a double property whammy.
It's been 3 months since the excitement of the auction, and we're back on the Gold Coast to see how Marie and Peter are getting on.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Hi, mate.
Hello, how are you?
Good to see you.
Been looking forward to catching up with you guys. Good to be back.
Yes, it's great. This weather is fantastic up here.
What's happened since you've had the keys?
Well, it's been a real whirlwind, and we got tenants straight away.
Great.
Actually, the tenants were hot on our heels, weren't they? Settlement, tenants, about 4 days later.
We got fortunate. One of the guys that I work with was actually got a job up here, and he was looking for a house to rent. And I said, I've got a place for you. And that worked perfectly, so it was good.
So how is it being back in Canberra knowing that you've got all this ahead of you, you've got your future up here? Is it you chomping at the bit to get up here?
Yes, but we've got a lot of work to do. De-junking a house that we've lived in for something like 25, 30 years is going to be a really big task. And we've got to look at our jobs and just wind down from those. And then as soon as the timeline is still 3 years, but we'll just see.
And the great news is they've also already rented their Melbourne pad for $395 a week.
That's too...
This is the life. Who wants to go back to work?
Yeah.
Marie and Peter are taking every opportunity to come back and enjoy the lifestyle that this beautiful location has to offer.
Well, it's been a grand plan, hasn't it? But overall, you happy with the results?
Oh, very.
Absolutely. Delighted with the results. You two have done us very well. You've done a great job.
What a fantastic result for Peter and Marie. After 7 years of searching, they stuck to their goals and their budget. And they've not only secured their financial future, they've got a pretty good retirement lifestyle as well.